Halloween is nearly upon us, but Shatner-Ween is in full force. And it all culminates with a very special episode on Halloween Day. Up next is The Devil's Revenge from 2019. Not only does it feature the man himself, but it's got Jeri Ryan from Star Trek Voyager and was written by Maurice Hurley, a writer and producer for Star Trek The Next Generation. So this has got to be the best movie ever, right? Let's take a closer look.
Do you fucking know what that means?
The movie starts off with this very promising credit. William Shatner presents? Hell yeah. But then the opening credits show clips from later in the movie, which is a little weird, right? Anyway, we begin with an expedition in a mysterious cave. It's being led by John, who is obsessed with and searching for an ancient relic, a relic that has cursed him and his family. It isn't really explained how or why this relic has cursed his family. So one of the guys ends up dying, torn to shreds by something. And John apparently just heads right home after this guy is killed and calls his wife, played by Jeri Ryan. We learn some more exposition about the family curse and how John's dad is crazy and obsessed. They are referring to Shatner, who hasn't appeared yet. John ends up having a heart attack and crashing his car. He's rushed to a hospital and has weird visions and sees demons and stuff. The demons look pretty cool, actually. So John is revived and his visions continue as he goes to visit his kids at college. We get lots of exciting scenes of John walking upstairs and exploring the campus. Just riveting stuff. Alright, so we do get some demon action where they kill a few people. But where the hell is Shatner? At the 33-minute mark, he finally shows up. And it's a great scene. Shatner plays John's nutty war veteran father. Now, it's not explained very well, but I guess the curse has made him a little crazy.
For the white twin of heaven has come to castrate the sun. Castrate the sun? By God, if they didn't.
In any event, the movie really comes to life during this scene, and watching Shatner berate his son is great.
Now, don't make me regret having you. You go back, and you find it. Or I'll blow your brains all over that horse.
Seems a little harsh, huh? But to be fair, his son is kind of a wuss. So John decides to go back to the cave to find the relic and destroy it. And his family ends up going with him, which seems like a great idea, right? So they travel back to the cave in great detail, and we see their entire journey. And look, the scenery is nice and all, but what's with all this filler? Just get to the action. More importantly, get to Shatner. So the family has a run-in with the demons, and John barely escapes with his life. His family is trapped with the demons, and John has lost the relic. And an angry mob shows up to kick his butt for unleashing the demons in the first place. All seems lost until the man himself shows up. Finally. The mob immediately backs down because they know not to mess with Shatner.
Go on home.
Seeing you around, John. And once again, the movie comes to life. I know I'm biased here, but Shatner is excellent.
What you saw was in your mind. Trying to scare you off. Halloween. That's what you saw.
He easily hacks into the CIA satellites to locate John's family, and he's also armed to the teeth, ready to battle the forces of evil. Alright, let me start off with some positives. The performances are good. Jeri Ryan in particular really gives it her all. John is pretty dull as our lead, but he's not terrible. The demon designs look solid, and the cave sets and scenery is great. The movie is trying to say something about facing death, which I like, but the messaging is pretty muddled. But let's be honest, Shatner is the reason to see this movie, and unfortunately, he's just not in it a whole lot. If the rest of the movie had been more engaging, that wouldn't have necessarily been a bad thing, but Shatner is the best thing about this movie, and you can tell he's having a great time. When he's on screen, being a badass and hamming it up, the movie is a ton of fun, but when he's not there, it's kind of a slog. The storyline doesn't make a whole lot of sense, it's kind of dull, and it's just not that engaging when Shatner isn't around. There's so much filler too. Lots of scenes just drag on, and flashback scenes of the demons killing people are shown over and over again. It gets really annoying. At an hour and 38 minutes, the movie is way too long. Add in some pretty dodgy CGI, a confusing ending, and, well, this one was definitely a missed opportunity, which is too bad, because it could have been so good. I would have trimmed the movie down to an hour and 20 minutes or so, getting rid of all of that filler. Maybe add in a voiceover in the intro to better explain the curse and the stakes, and give us more Shatner. It's insane to me that you have William Shatner in your movie and underutilize him. When it comes to big-name actors in horror movies, I always think of John Carpenter's Halloween. Donald Pleasance was the big-name star of that film, and he got top billing. But he actually only worked on that movie for 5 days, and had about 18 minutes of screen time. And yet he was utilized perfectly. He was peppered throughout the movie just enough that you never forgot about him. And he played an important role in the story. John Carpenter got a big-name star for his little independent film, and he didn't waste him. I watched The Devil's Revenge, and I see Shatner wasted in this role. And the storyline just wasn't up to par. I didn't hate this movie, but I was disappointed. And I was disappointed because I saw what it could have been. That does it for this episode of Shatner-Ween. Join me next week on Halloween Day for a very special episode. An episode that pits Shatner against one of the most famous serial killers of all time.